Greetings, BookTube. Tonight I will be doing my review of The Croesus Conspiracy by Ben Stein. This is my pick for Garb August. This book fits into Garb August for a number of reasons. The first one is it's written by an actor / comedian and a political commentator on television. I don't like Ben Stein's politics at all, but he wrote a pretty good book. Also, this book focuses on I don't want to say moral panic, but a concern of the 1970s and many of the post-war years, which is Nazis in South America, Nazi hunters, and neo-Nazi conspiracies for a Fourth Reich. So, moral panic of the time, written by an actor / political commentator, and third one is a lot of the dialogue in this book. The characters talk a lot like cartoon characters. Very corny dialogue. So, there you go. And this book has a grand total of 2 written reviews that I found on Amazon and Goodreads. 2 written reviews only. Oh, and it also has a provocative cover. So there you go. That's why it fits for Garb August. Now, this book is the reason why I canceled my reading event from a couple of years ago when I started on BookTube. I wanted to do a reading event myself, but how do I explain this, yeah? I wanted to do a reading event based on airport novels and dad thrillers, dad adventure books. And one of the books that I wanted to include in that reading event was this book. This book went lost. This book was missing from my library. Now, I've read this book twice now. I've read this book twice prior, and when I found out it went missing, I wanted it so badly, I bought it again to read it a third time. So this book I really, really enjoyed. But I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I recognize that this book is not for everyone. It's short and it's very, very dated. So this book was published in 1978 and the references really show it. So, for example, this book was published in 1978, but it takes place in the early 1980s in the lead up to the 1984 United States presidential election. It's heavily implied that Jimmy Carter was reelected, something happened to him, and then Walter Mondale stepped in because he was vice president at the time, and he chooses not to run for re-election in 1984. You'll have to find out why by reading this book. But so Ben Stein did not foresee Ronald Reagan. So I found it an interesting choice how he wrote the book a few years into the future after 1978. He did not predict Ronald Reagan. So the book is very, very dated. It has a lot of, references that are not familiar to us. Well, not familiar. That are very much updated today. We know a lot more than what Ben Stein did in 1978. if that makes any sense. Now, like I said, I enjoyed reading this book. It's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it so much that I read it 3 times. So what's the book about? The book is about a neo-Nazi conspiracy to take over the United States government and empower and as well as influence West Germany's politics as well. Remember, in 1978 there was East Germany and West Germany. So this conspiracy is a group of neo-Nazis seeking absolute power, and their plot involves a presidential candidate named Martin Bickel. Sorry, not Martin Bickel. That's another character from another book. Travis Bickel. Travis Bickel. This presidential candidate, is he a hero or a villain? You'll have to find out for yourself by reading this book. The story does not show the perspective. Well, it does. It's not mainly from the perspective of heroes trying to stop this neo-Nazi conspiracy. Instead it's told from the perspectives of the people who are mostly from the perspective of the people who are perpetrating it. And I enjoyed watching the conspiracy unfold. The outcome of the book, the outcome of this overall story, was a little bit, shall we say, unsatisfactory, anticlimactic, but I enjoyed reading how the story gradually unfolded. And so yeah, it's a political thriller. Back to what I was saying earlier, it's heavily implied that something happened to Jimmy Carter, which is interesting because Carter lived to be 100 years old. This is my my first neo-Nazi conspiracy novel. I've read another one, The Apocalypse Watch by Robert Ludlum. It's on my bookshelf. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoy reading these kind of stories. This one was a more, shall we say, milder or less outlandish, less crazy conspiracy. It didn't involve as many unrealistic moving parts to the overall plot. It was a little bit more simplified, the plot. But what's interesting about this one, like I said earlier, it's not told mainly from the perspective of a hero trying to stop the conspiracy. It's just showing the conspiracy unfold with people who are involved in it. And the main character, Travis Bickle, is he a hero or villain? You'll have to find out for yourself once you read this book, because that's the interesting part. I promise you that. So, only 2, I'm starting to repeat myself here, but only 2 written reviews of this book. So I'm probably going to be the first person to review this book on YouTube. It's an obscure book, so there you go. Thank you for listening in. Happy Garbogus.